Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerd Dave, and I'm joined by these fine nerds to play some Cypher System tonight. Moon Rises, a Cypher System game, post-apocalyptic science fantasy, because that's what we needed in our life right about now. Since we're living it, and we're living it minus all the fun stuff, right? So we had to add it ourselves. When we left off, our heroes were in the. They were in the. Where were you guys? I have it written down here.
Let us. You want to go around and we'll tell you where what happened?
If you want to, sure. If you guys want to catch people up, we'll start with you, Doug, since you started talking first. You're up.
Okay. We started our episode with on a ridge overlooking a town with inviting smoke rising, unlike the uninviting smoke at our previous place. It turned out to be a settlement named Amzia, where there was people with sort of mental abilities and those without, who seemed to be living in harmony and also safe from the wastes and the dangers and Marinera's stain upon the land. Greg, or Tracy Dyson Caldwell, learned what they look like because they thought they were just a psychic residue, but one of the elders from Amzia could see them, and there was talk of Gaggles potentially branching off into being a ghost therapist, which I was all about. I wrote down that Blue's intellect is astounding. I don't remember why, but I think he did some scientific knowledge stuff that was impressive. And we learned that actually we witnessed like a cultural community thing, some kind of singing, I believe, that they used to protect their town from not only the horde of Marinera, but the lunar daemons. And then I made a promise that if I ever went to the moon, I'd come back and tell Jillia about it. And then I believe Goggles and I tried to commune with the Griznor, and then like some shit went down, and that's where we left off.
That is where we left off.
I have something. Can I go next so that I don't not have anything?
Don't worry. I was gonna leave Steven for last because he gets excited and it says everything and remembers it in great detail. No, it's actually a skill. It's a skill.
Except when I go first, then I just have like this panic and I don't know what I'm doing.
What do you got for me, Robin?
We're pretty sure that this is where Unik Hopebringer is from. That's the thing that I can add to the recap.
It is suspected, yeah.
That's right.
All right, Ted.
So we came up with the idea, and this might have been what Doug was saying, that Blue's a genius. These people, they have those with abilities and those who don't have mental abilities. The mental ability people, they don't speak. It's just all a telepathic communication. We found out that they've got some kind of like scrying ability. So we said, our mission is really to try and gather intel on, Marina or Marinera and report back to, the Lightbringer, Hopebringer, whatever his name is, to Unik. And I'm like, well, we don't even have to go out and possibly risk ourselves. What if we can just get them to do the scrying, get a trajectory for where they're going to be, get whatever we can information on numbers, and then pull up our skirts and hot feet and book it right to New Manhattan and give all the details without risking life and limb, and go from there.
And Goggles.
Okay, so like was said, we went to the village that had the inviting smoke. We immediately found people who, in my mind, evoked cone heads, but I don't think it was quite that extreme. There were definitely people that did not have hair that had psychic powers in the vein of, because we're all about Tasha's nonsense right now, psionics, yay. And then there were people that had hair that were the have-nots and could not use psionic powers, and they couldn't communicate mentally. The people who could communicate mentally no longer have voice boxes that work properly. So as a result, Robin was feeling some type of way because it was like this caste system going on. And we got a new perspective when one of the people who had hair and was one of the have-nots ended up telling us that actually the real nameless in the situation are the people who speak with their minds, because the people who speak with their minds do in fact call the people with hair by their names. So that was an interesting little twist. They also have the ability to just sing and not make the lunar daemons be a problem, which is like really cool. And it kind of disguises their village so they can choose who finds them. That protected them from Marinera, who's terrible and we hate her. Along the way, we decided to have Greg and Goggles go on a little friendship group thing, sort of like the Zuko missions in Avatar. And Greg is helping Goggles to tap into his psychic self so that he can try to contact the Gizhnort and find out what they want. Because so far they've just kind of been along from the ride or prisoners, and he would rather let them have some agency. And seeing that he's among a bunch of psychics, it's possible to make that happen potentially.
And also, as a side note, some of the townsfolk of Amzea are shipping Goggles and Greg.
Yes.
For anyone following along, and as Ted stated, Blue, hey, come up with a plan, and they have actually tried to scout out Marinara and the Marina and her armies, and they could only get so close. Was what they told you. They were the same thing that was keeping out the lunar demons. They believe is also warding them from actually doing any kind of significant reconnaissance. But we left off, and Greg and Goggles, you were plummeting through the mindscape, falling towards the city of the Gizhnort. Except for you've experienced this a couple times, but this time it just feels more real than you've ever experienced it before. And before impacting, Greg used his field. Is it called a resonance field?
Yes.
Yeah, you used your resonance field to kind of blast it out and keep you guys from impacting hard. And so as your resonance field hits the ground, there's a flash of light. What was Blue and Red doing again?
What were we doing?
Was this during the time of the singing or after the singing?
This was immediately after the singing. Greg and Goggles went off in one direction, and Blue and Red went in another direction with Violet. Or Lilac.
Yeah, I would imagine we probably just went back to the room to kind of discuss what we saw, and I guess the ramifications. If this power can actually stave off the lunar demons, maybe there's something more here that we could take back. If the speculation is that Unik is from here, perhaps he knows a little bit more. There's definitely some pieces of the puzzle that could be figured out.
I have a question. What is the terrain like in the place where we are? Are there trees?
Yeah, it's lightly wooded.
Okay, I would like to get a couple of sticks and make like a little makeshift cross, because after having warded off an actual demon with like Christian mythos, Red is kind of taking it a little bit seriously and wants one.
Red's doubling down on the Christian mythology. Nice. All right. Flash of light. Greg, Goggles. You kind of like impact on the ground, but not as hard as you would have. You kind of like roll over, and the first thing you see, Greg, is Blue standing over you. But it's Blue it's Blue the way Greg perceives Blue. How does Greg perceive Blue?
Probably is just like, I imagine that people's like nervous systems and things are sort of like glowing through their skin. So it's more of like their body is more of like the translucent like shell around what they really are, which is just like their brain waves and neurons.
Oh,
That is
nice.
simultaneously beautiful and horrifying.
You get used to it.
Okay. And Goggles, the first thing you see is red. And how do you perceive red?
So Goggles wakes up to see a much more badass looking version of Red. Like her hook swords are easily twice the length. We're talking like World of Warcraft proportions here. And like a side shaved haircut with like red hair that glows just a little bit and like super buff all of a sudden. And the gas mask is like way more intricate than it actually is. Just generally way more intimidating.
Does the gas mask like have tusks on it?
Oh, it has like spikes and all the 80s punk aesthetic.
Nice. So you know, both of you see red and blue as the other just described.
Mhm.
Red and blue, you see each other that way as well, but it just seems normal and regular to the both of you.
I flex.
So as you kind of like look around and you notice you are in that city that you saw, the Giznor city, except for now things are kind of rumbling and shaking. In various points in the city, you see those ships positioned, and it looks like some of them have people getting on them and kind of onboarding. In other places, there's crowds and pockets of the Giznor, except for they look more solid than you've ever seen them. And now, instead of just seeing like those vague shapes, they still look that way, only more solid. You can still see like the pulsing in their chests. It actually pulses through the clothes they're wearing. And like they're wearing that like synthetic looking kind of like futuristic tunics and shirts and
They all
pants.
have the same outfit on.
Yeah, or variations of it. It's very close. You know, it doesn't look like anything you've seen before. Maybe Greg has seen something like that in a sci-fi, comic book or illustration, or maybe even a show or movie. Goggles, red, blue. Only maybe if you unearth something like that at some point, would you have seen anything looked even close to that? It is. I guess Goggles' clothing is kind of like similar in that kind of like that very like futuristic aesthetic. But yeah, people and there are definitely people that seem to be kind of in charge, maybe police or peacekeepers of some sort, and they seem to be trying to get people to go into their homes and go home, and they seem to be trying to like quell some kind of unrest.
Do people seem to notice us?
They do take notice of you, but more so that just like you're there, they're moving around.
Oh, okay.
Someone like reaches to help one of you up. They don't seem to notice that you're different than everyone else, though.
Okay. I believe we have a unique opportunity ahead of us.
What? Wait, what's going on? Blue, did you cut your hair?
No.
Oh, there's definitely something different about you.
I look normal to me.
This is the second time I believe our consciousnesses have been transported across time and space to witness past events, perhaps? Do you remember when we landed on the comet?
Yeah.
And now I think we're on the Giznor homeworld.
How did we
They're
get
just
here?
telling everybody to go home.
Aren't we supposed to be doing something with Marinara chick?
Well, judging by the pulsating neurons that I see coming off of you, Blue, I believe it's only our minds that are here.
Oh,
Bodies may very well be back in Amzia,
well,
or whatever we are using for mobility.
Does red and blue recognize these things as the Giznor people, or do they?
You've never seen this before.
Yeah. Do we have
you do recognize them as the Giznor, And also the information kind of pops into your head as if it was always there, but there's a strangeness to it.
So, if we're here, we might as well, do our best to make an impact. So I know that Goggles has wanted to help to Giznor for a while. So how do we help?
Well, if it looks like it's a highly advanced society, if there's any center of science or anything in this cityscape we're in, they may have answers there. We wanted to know what they might need to survive and thrive on Earth. What does your gut tell you, Goggles? Do you feel any different being here?
Do I feel any different being here, GM?
That is entirely up to you. 2 of the ships begin to take off. The ground shakes even more. And people seem to be panicking more.
This is the destruction of their world.
I want to reach out my hands and grab the hands of my friends, if they'll allow that, and just try to and I'll say there's a place where all the ships are launching from, right?
There's scattered points, around the city. It's not all
just
together.
Focusing on one direction of where we see a ship go off. I just want to tell them, I'll just say, concentrate on being there. I want to see if we're in some sort of mindscape, maybe we can just project our minds, through this, whatever we are in, temporal bubble, psionically temporal bubble.
You do that. You reach out to grab the hands of your companions, and you look to them, and you look past, and you see the terrified visage of one of the citizens, one of the Giznor, as they seem to be unaware of what's going on, and just at a loss.
So I don't think that Red would necessarily understand that this is a thing that's already happened and that this isn't something that we can really change. So I think that what she would be doing right now would be trying to calm people down, because the panic isn't going to help.
Wait, maybe the panic is helping.
Oh?
No. We're in this mindscape right now. And Grig, we came here to find out what the Giznor want. I think they're trying to help us empathize with them. Maybe we need to experience the panic. Maybe we need to experience what happened so we understand.
Are you saying we should panic?
No, I'm saying we should watch. Even though we want to look away, we have to watch.
I don't want to look away. I want to help.
As you say that, Goggles, someone shoves you from behind, and an authoritative voice barks, "Back to your residence. Back to your homes. Go inside. Everything will be fine."
You don't fucking tell me what to do.
And it's Red. You look and you see it appears to be one of the ones in uniform.
I lean down to Blue and say, maybe we can change things.
And then that same person that you originally saw, Grig, they kind of look, downcast and trodden, and they kind of, slump in defeat and begin shuffling off in a direction with purpose.
Do you know what's happening here?
It is just a drill.
Obviously it's not, though.
We are testing. Our leaders are testing the escape ships. We still have months yet. Everything is going according to plan and is fine.
So, with my mechanical expertise, can I tell at all if this ground shaking is being projected from the test ships?
Oh yeah,
do I know this is BS?
You don't think it's from the ships at all?
Okay.
I totally want to get into my doomed mindset, and I just want to go off on this guy. I'll just scream of like, we got to get all these people onto the ships. They're all gonna die. Totally, just be as loud as possible to be heard by as many people as possible.
So people around you guys go, what? It's supposed to be a test. They said months. The scientists said months.
Not a test. Not a test. Get on the ships.
And so ruckus begins breaking out all around you. Yep. Like a wave. It kind of begins rippling. And with that, you know what? Give me a speed test.
Everybody?
Yeah, everybody, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, geez.
What's the difficulty?
It is with everything going on. It's gonna be a 4.
19.
I got a 12.
On my dice more often.
I got a 16, so I surpassed it.
I just barely got it.
Okay, so it's almost like the guard is moving in slow motion as he kind of pulls out a billy club like object or baton and tries to kind of silence Blue.
No. Yeah. Can we punch him?
You can. There are others nearby, but not like in your immediate area. Like there's probably half a dozen. Like they're all doing the same thing. They got like megaphones and stuff. Well, go ahead.
I feel like Red is faster than me, so whatever she was doing is probably happening first.
Oh, the swords are coming out. I'm trying to disarm this guy, and I'm just like, you were supposed to be protecting these people. How dare you? I'm just so offended.
Okay, go for it. It is.
Yes.
If you want to disarm, it's going to be 1 difficulty harder, so
okay.
It'll be just a 4 or 12.
And I can spend edge.
You can.
You can spend effort. Yeah. Edge reduces your cost.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Effort it is. Let's go. And I got a 16.
Yeah, that billy club goes flying in whatever direction you want, however you want it to go.
Cool. I want to like aim the trajectory so that Greg can catch it if he wants. If they want, is Greg a they?
I think technically it's a he.
Okay. Yes. Greg can catch it if he wants.
Yeah.
Does this guy?
It's a middle-aged man with a beard, and he was very forward.
Does this guy have a megaphone, or is it another one that has the megaphone?
He has one too. They all do. They have a little. They have by megaphone. It is literally like it almost looks like a tuning fork that they're talking into, and it's amplifying.
Can I try and swipe that?
Oh yeah, go for it. It's going to be 1 easier for you, so it'll just be a 3 instead of a 4, because he's been distracted by Red.
Well, that's a crit.
Okay, so what would you like to happen with this snatching of them?
So my plan was I wanted to snatch it and then like climb up a roof. If that's not possible to like get the move along with it, perhaps he's just had his billy club tossed out of his hand, and now this thing is being ripped out of his hand. So maybe he's just like stunned, unable to understand what's going on, or shocked, whatever you want to call it.
I will let you. So Blue, you kind of vault up to his chest, and then leap off of his chest. And as you do, you use your tail to grab the amplifier device and land on the wall of a building, like 15 feet up. You're not at the roof. These buildings are large structures anyway. There's some lower ones, but you're not going to be able to grab it and get to the roof, but you can get up high.
Works for me.
Gregor goggles.
I'm just going to punch the dude in the face and shout, "What kind of a government lies to its people?" And I don't know what difficulty it is, but I get a free level of effort at this point because I have an edge of 3.
Okay. It is okay. So it actually is just a 3.
Okay,
before anything. So a 6.
a 6 or better.
Yeah, it should be fairly
I rolled
easy.
a 3. Man.
Goggles is filled with such
2020,
anger
you
over
do
the
me wrong
government
again.
lying to its people. Because what government would ever do such a thing? Instead of punching him, it ends up being like this push, shove. It's
You're
ineffectual.
berating him. I want to try to grab the guy and hover up above the crowd a bit, if I may. So,
all right,
I've
that's
never
just a
grappled
3
anybody.
might.
Is that like a might?
It's a 3 might check, but you suck at might, so 4.
Okay. I am going to. Oh no, I don't. Wait, how do you use the stuff again? Oh yeah, you have to pay for it. Okay, I'm gonna use the whatever effort.
Okay.
So that makes it a 3. So I have to get 9 or better. Hold on, let me distract this first. Sorry, it's been a while. I forget. I was like, what am I doing? Okay, so I have to roll a 9 or better.
Yes.
Oh, that's cocked. Ooh, 20. Got the move.
Nice.
Okay. So what exactly do you want to happen here?
I want to grab the guy, hover up above the crowd in the buildings, and say to him, I know this will sound confusing to you, but I'm
The
from
buildings
the
are like skyscrapers, right?
Oh, okay, well, just
With
as
some
high as I
shorter
can
ones,
and
like
reasonably in one action
yeah.
above the crowd and stuff like that. Just so you're looking down on the crowd and it's like all this chaos.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
you snatch him up and you get to about 30 feet in the air.
Okay. And I say, I know this is going to sound confusing and scary, but I'm from the future, and your people reached out to us to help, and we're here to find out what we can do. I need you to tell me where is there any kind of like science center nearby? Somebody who would know what's going on.
Okay, so from this vantage point, you get a great view of kind of like the square where you guys landed and the city. Everything is very angular and made of sharp edges.
Mm-hmm.
And most, like I said, there's many like skyscraper style buildings. There's some lower ones, but lower meaning like 3 stories. And again, they're still very angular and jagged in nature. In the center of the square, there's some kind of, you don't know if it's a device or a piece of art of,
Okay.
of jagged lines and edges to make like almost like a sphere that is would be in like a pond, but there's no water.
Okay.
But it just kind of has that look to it.
Mm-hmm. Totally can visualize it.
And again, everything is in those hues of pink and reds.
Yeah, I'm calling this pink world in my headcanon.
Yes, that's absolutely it.
It's like a Green Lantern world, but pink.
Yeah, and then they're shot through with other colors here and there, and they're very stark and contrasting when you do see them, and it might be like gray, because it's that much of a difference.
Sure.
But so they point off and to the chamber, the chamber of leadership is that way. So as you do that, another ship blasts off. There's 3 left.
I'll just lower him back to the ground and say, no, you need to get yourself and as many people onto those ships safely as you can. I know this won't matter much, but you need to get on those ships, and these people are scared, and it's your job to help them stay calm. And
I
you
have
need
orders.
to get on as well. I understand. Just try to be a little more compassionate, okay?
I have orders to get them home and get them into their homes.
Just be more compassionate. There's no need for violence.
Do you think that maybe the guards don't know?
Oh yeah, they definitely don't know. They're just low. Yeah. They're just low people.
We I didn't intend to be violent, but that one there, the short one, he's causing a panic. He's scaring everybody.
There's much to be scared about.
What do you mean? They're just testing the ships.
Sure they are.
Let's see, who's the most perceptive? Blue?
I actually do. Hey, I do have an asset on any action involving perception that I have never used.
I am specialized. I am specialized in perception.
Yeah.
Okay, so Blue and Greg, you're kind of like close to this guy now, this peacekeeper, and you see that he's got like an insignia on his uniform that kind of seems to be like some kind of denotion of rank, maybe, and kind of looking at the other ones that are kind of like closing in, to see what's going on. You guys made quite a spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
All of them but one kind of have the same insignia. One of them is slightly different than the others, and Greg and Blue, you catch something about his body language, their body language, that makes you feel like maybe they do know what's going on.
I point to them and say, "Take us to your leader," and then I turn to my friend and say, "I was going to say that."
Like, you gotta know that the Griznor bourgeoisie is already on the ships.
The scientists.
I just love that Greg is an astronaut on an alien planet that said, "Take us to your leader."
It's deep.
That's
Yeah.
That's gotta fulfill a checklist for you, Doug, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, man. Hell yeah.
So again, right? They haven't reacted to you guys looking different than them. And he seems to have been called on. He called on to one of the words you used. Our leaders, aren't they yours too? I mean, you not come from one of the other cities, have you?
So what is the other like the potentially superior officer guy? What does he look like he's doing? Is he coming in our direction, or is he?
No, he's the one that's questioning Greg about the use of the word "our."
Oh, okay.
So we look like these, like we don't look like ourselves. We look like Gizmer.
Well, to each other, you guys kind of look the way, Red and Blue look the way you guys described them, and you guys, matter of fact, Goggles. How do you perceive you look to others?
I don't know. Goggles probably perceives himself as looking generally softer and rounder than he is actually. Like, he's a pretty like buff.
Oh no, he's got body dysmorphia.
But he's just like, he's like a little bit smaller, just generally more approachable looking.
Okay.
Oh, my heart.
So, Greg, you absolutely pick up on that, and Blue and Red seems normal to you guys. Greg, how do you perceive yourself nowadays?
Boy, I don't know. Well, actually, yeah, the person whose name was just a feeling described me as a middle-aged man with a beard. But that was all they really said. I don't know. I guess I'll go with that.
Okay. So that part is a little odd to you, Goggles, because he does look a little bit different, and Greg Goggles looks different to you. As I said, Blue and Red, pretty much the same. So yeah, so as far as you're all perceiving, you don't look like the Giznor.
I say, can you arrest us then or something?
Have you committed a crime? Although I'm really close to arresting you now anyway. You're really scaring all these people when it's just a test that's going on here.
It's not
All right,
a
look.
test.
I can prove it's not a test. And can I just go into the technobabble as to why this is definitely not a test?
Yeah, absolutely. So you go, how long is your tirade?
As just as long as it needs to be to get my point across. This is an emergency situation. You can tell I really want to say more. I am nerding out, but
Give me
I've got a dumb idea.
A real speaker challenge.
Give me. Do you have speaker abilities for communicating?
I
feel like you do.
I have a skill in seeing through deception. I have a fast talk. I can compel one creature to take a reasonable action. So
That sounds
fast
pretty.
talk.
Okay, so yes, and we'll get back to what that particular action is in a minute. Give me a intellect check. The base is going to be a 3, but it's more of like how long this is going to take, more so whether you can do it or not, because you're using an ability.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna spend effort. This is important. Oh, I rolled a 2.
Okay, at least it wasn't a 1. So you do use your fast talk ability, and you do get your point across. So it's going to take about 10 minutes. What do you
mean you don't know what a flux capacitor is? What?
You don't mean to, but you go way more technical than you meant to, and like he's like trying to follow along, and every time he like tries to interject to try and like get you off track or get things moving in a certain way, you just like judo flip him in the conversation, and just run over him, leaving him looking stunned. Blue, Greg, and Goggles, for the next 10 minutes, what are you doing?
So Goggles has an idea, and it's a stupid idea, but he's thinking because Greg said we might be able to change the past. He wants to try to change the past. So because he's aware this is a mindscape thing, he would like to make himself look like how he envisions Marinara looking. And which is this like over-the-top evil lady a la Scorpia from the 80s, just terrifying but like super pretty. And he's going to start cackling maniacally, go, "You fools! We aliens have destroyed your planet, and your only hope is to get on these ships. You'll never make it in time!" And I'm just trying to like convince them that they need to get on the ships. I'm sorry. I'm being crazy right now.
Okay. That was so good.
That's what Goggles is doing. What is Cricket Blue doing? We'll circle back to that.
I am going to try. I'm letting Red just work her magic, so I'm going to try. While I'm standing around impatiently, I'm going to try just scanning like the surroundings, like the ground, just see anything I can learn. Basically, just using my scan ability. Just see if I can pick up like what's happening to the planet, that sort of thing. Like,
what is the range on that?
So it says it's just an area. So I mean, I don't know how much I can get, but I just couldn't think of anything else to do during 10 minutes. But you scan an area in size equal to a 10-foot cube, including all objects or creatures within the area. It reveals its level, and that's the thing where it's like whatever else the GM feels pertinent. Blah blah blah. It takes an action. So I mean, if I was just like low key doing it for 10 minutes, it'd be a lot. But I just didn't have anything else particular I wanted to do, so I figured that's what he'd just be seeing if he could learn anything, and also just enjoying the fact that we're just projecting our minds into some kind of past recreation. It's pretty interesting.
Okay,
that's it.
And Blue.
So from on high, now that he's got people moving, he's seen panic, so he wants to just like keep the people moving in the right direction, but trying not to incite a riot. So like it'll be move with haste but move with caution. He'll just kind of like develop a rhythm and just try to keep them moving towards the ship, just over and over again, I guess, until the area is cleared of people, or until like the group is done what they're doing, or he just can't talk because he's too hoarse.
All right, give me an intellect check of 5 to influence the crowd.
Right. All right, so I've got 1. My effort is 3, but I'm going to use 2. So that is 4 points to bring it down to a 9. And that is a 14 on the die.
Okay. You're able to do that. Anyone with an earshot of you, they begin moving in that direction with some jostling, pushing, and shoving. Greg, as you like just, kind of like round after round, just like blast. Like it's not a thing that costs you, right? It just takes time.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't anymore. I usually pay for it, but I'm not going to pay for it like 600 times. So. You know, because there's that thing I messed up where it was like it actually wouldn't cost.
Yeah, because you have enough edge to cover the cost. And okay, so you can kind of just do it. Yeah. So you're kind of just like beaming it out and hitting different areas. And you know, what you do pick up is some like level 10 geothermic spots, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's causing the rumbling and the disturbance.
Right. Okay.
It's actually the highest power you've ever encountered
Off the charts.
when using it. You know, you hit, when you hit the citizens, they're like 1s. You hit these peacekeepers, they're like 3s. And then, you know, the ships as well, like you gather from them. There is one of the ships where you're not detecting any life forms in there. And because let's see, I guess there's 2 left.
There's only 2 ships left.
Because 3 of them have blasted off already.
Are these like world ships? Like, I mean, you know, like
they're huge, but they're not quite big enough to fit everyone.
Right, but I mean, like, you know, let's say like 100 of them would fit like the whole planet's population, city.
Yeah, so like
they're pretty big.
They are very big. You know, so the two of them you can see are getting ready to tonight and take off.
Okay.
And there's one that actually appears to be empty and unmanned.
Interesting. What's on
Is it broken?
I don't know. On that, I mean, I figured I'm not gonna leave while you're doing your thing. I wonder what's in that ship, though. Must be something important. Maybe it's something that they need to survive on Earth.
And then Goggles. This is the point where you find out this is the least mindscapey this place has ever been to you guys, and more real. So some of the things you've been able to get away with in the past just aren't working here. There seems to be some set applied physics and rules. So you're not, when you start to try and change yourself, you do notice like you don't seem to be changing.
Okay.
You feel like you're really here.
Okay. Greg, you remember how we did that time traveling mind thing before?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is more time travel-y, less mindy. What if?
Really? I was thinking the exact opposite. You think we're actually in the past right now?
Yeah. What if we managed to get up to that empty ship and man it ourselves and get as many people on ourselves?
I'm up for it. That sounds fantastic. I was wondering if I was curious about it myself.
Can you fly?
No, I've never flown an alien escape ship before, but I've never had my mind transported across time and space either, and yet here we are.
Well,
Blue will be able to do it.
Are the ships in the air or on the ground?
They're on the ground.
Okay.
There's like,
I would like to.
They're like upright. Again, they're very angular and jagged, and they look very like Buck Roger-ish. Mm-hmm. But you know, think Buck Roger meets our modern spacecraft. But then there's large towers leading up to them to bring, for people to get in and enter.
Yeah, I was seeing Star Destroyers.
Okay.
That's fine.
Can I just pick up Blue, put him on my shoulder, pick up Red in the middle of her tirade, and be like, Greg, I trust you to keep up. And I'm going to bolt for that ship and see if we can get as many people on as we can ourselves, since clearly the authorities are not helping.
Well, Blue has been starting to hurt people, but Red, Robin,
Red.
Yeah, sorry.
Not a sponsor.
Okay, I'd been making that joke in my head the entire time we've been playing this. So.
Perfect. What is Red trying to get this guy to do?
Oh yeah, I really should have been thinking about that while you guys were doing stuff, but I was listening to what was going on. I am trying to get him to like understand what is going on and actually do what is best for like the citizens.
Mm.
Because he's definitely got a better idea of what that is than I do. I don't live here.
Yeah, he looks very torn when you do that, but I guess you're right. Orders be damned.
Yeah.
Well, I believe there's an
Yeah.
I believe there's an open ship right over there.
Yeah, they didn't have scientists or pilots for that one.
Well, we'll figure
We do
something
now.
out. Yeah. Why don't you help get these people onto that ship?
So,
Is there any way we can increase capacity?
are you asking him or are you asking
Yeah.
the rest? I don't know. I'm just.
Okay,
I
let's
don't know, I
come
just
over
work
and I'll
here.
figure it out.
I don't know. I just work here.
Yeah, pretty much. Those
But
science.
I'm like looking around as we go for like any smaller airtight things that we could like bring along with us and maybe like attach to the vessel somehow. Like I don't have my hopes super high, but I have to at least look.
So, I want to say you do find some things. And I guess you can start like corralling people to try and
Mhm.
like get vehicles and like construction equipment to begin moving it over there. And you got this like small herd of people that is kind of gathering as you guys head towards the one ship. I mean, the ship is hundreds of feet in the tall in the air. It's as big as the skyscrapers.
It's like the SDF-1 from Robotech.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
Like
the
that
other
size.
peacekeepers are, talking and using their amplifiers that assist Blue and hurting the crowd.
Oh, nice. We got them on our side now.
Oh,
Nice.
So
Robin does it.
the mob makes its way to the ship and
Next.
they begin trying to weld stuff to the side of the ship. And so Greg, you're not so sure that's a good idea though.
Am I?
I'm gonna listen. Even if you don't have any skills to say it, you are an astronaut, so you know more. Just by being an astronaut and having gone into space, you know way more about this stuff than most people.
I will talk to Red then, as an aside, since she seems to be in charge of this operation. I'll say, I understand that we're trying to modify the ship to fit more people, but I've been scanning the planet for about 10 minutes now, and I think we need to just get as many people in here and evacuate the planet as quickly as possible. I don't know if
Okay.
ship modifications. I understand the need, but maybe
All
those
right.
people could help more people get here that are working
Bail
in the
out,
ship.
that's not gonna work. Go get personnel. Like instructing.
So of
And
your
I walk away
mob,
like real, like kind of like quickly towards the guy, like, she is good at logistics.
so as you get there with your mob, you feel like you can get about 80% of them on.
Okay. That's better than they were doing.
But then there's the problem about the 20% that doesn't fit on. That's the problem.
We don't just not save the 80% because there's 20 more percent. Like there is a sunk cost fallacy here. That's probably not the right one. I don't actually know off the top of my head. I would have to look it up. We don't have time to do that. We got to go. We're doing the best we can. It's better to do our best than not do it.
Are we here? Like if there's a moment where we're all started together, I'll say that so nobody else can hear. Just you guys can hear me say that.
I think we have to assume that we are. Yeah.
We're here to make a difference. Let's make a difference.
Okay.
What if the ship has that thing that they were in on it? Could we store them in there? Remember that crystal from the underwater
Mhm.
base? If it's on
I
here,
took
maybe
that
we
as,
can get them to
as
go
some
into
sort
it.
of device that the Nazis built to contain them in it, wasn't it?
Oh God, what if we caused the Giznor apocalypse? You know, we don't have time to worry about that. Let's go.
I
But
wanna
the
know if
crystal
there's-
was theirs. The crystals
Oh,
were
yes,
theirs.
right. Yes.
So if we can find crystals, maybe we can get them into the crystals to save space.
I don't think it works that way.
Most of the crystals are them.
Oh, they're
Well,
them.
they're like silicone-based beings.
I
So
see.
they have a crystal in their chest, their heart essentially,
Okay.
that projects out their physical form.
So why did they die? That's what we need to find out. How did they survive? How can they survive on another planet?
So you did learn it was something to do with the Earth's magnetic field.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, that they're not able to maintain their form in.
Oh.
So they can't come to Earth. They have to go somewhere else.
Why would they set their destination to Earth?
We can figure that out after we get them on.
Yeah, we gotta go.
So
we gotta
as
get
you're
off
loading
planet.
them on, right, the loading gets slower as you get closer to the end,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys are kind of at the top facilitating. And then, so you're looking at, these,
We're
probably
just
like
gonna leave this ship here?
100 people or so standing out there that are not going to be able to make it on. And they're also getting restless, and people are trying to like jostle and force their way on. What are you doing about that?
It's a real pickle.
I hate this, but there's really nothing like
Does anybody still have that electric cipher we got?
I have no. I use.
Oh
them.
wait, ciphers are a thing. Yeah, hold on, I got
Yeah.
stuff.
We
If
have
you
like
give
a
me one, I
lightning
will use it
cipher.
immediately.
And okay, am I allowed to talk as a player for a minute, out of character?
Yep.
Okay, my thought is if we have that electric lightning cipher, we can charge a piece of metal and just run and make our own magnet and then run it over them and make them go dormant ourselves, which will save space.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
All you need is a piece of metal and the lightning thing. Run the lightning through it, you've got a magnet.
I don't have the lightning thing. It was not me.
I have a healing thing and an espresso for blue.
An espresso.
I have a mind scrambler and a gravity nullifier that only goes up to 120 feet. So
I have a magic ring of resistance.
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to give blue the espresso.
It's called a shocker.
Oh, the shot collars.
No, it's not the shock
that what we have?
collars. It's called a shocker. Delivers a
Is that the
powerful
thing
burst
we
of
forgot to write
electricity that shocks any creature touched, inflicting damage equals.
I am a shining beacon of maturity.
So
Is that the one we got and forgot to write down?
I don't know. It's also super strong. It's a level 10.
That was the one that Doug used a handful of sessions back.
Okay.
I had picked it up and given it to Doug.
What did I use it for? Oh, we made the electromagnet when we were fighting Upgrade.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, do we still have any of the shock collars?
I don't know. Did you guys grab them?
Wait, we don't need a shock collar. I mean, I'm sure there's something electric on the ship that we could use to make a magnet.
Also, don't one of you guys have like a? One of you guys has like a big battery.
Not me.
I have
Power
an energy
source.
pack.
Yeah, that.
Do you need it? Yeah, I mean,
Well, they're talking about
I
powering
started with a
something.
bunch with like 4 of them. I've just been using them as like.
So if you guys want to try and mad science something together to try and electroshock all of them into, create a magnetic field to make their forms break up and trap them in their hearts.
God, this almost feels evil. but we're doing it to save them in the long run, so let's do it.
Okay.
Isn't that evil justification?
Is it?
It's for the great.
Why is it evil? They can survive like that.
We're doing it to save their lives. I don't. If it were me, I would not rather be dead than in a coma.
Sure.
We can fix it later. We will find a way.
Okay, so I'm going to say, like, creating this kind of advanced technological solution is going to start off pretty hard.
Yeah.
At a 6, I'll give you 1 asset because you have the battery pack. And from there, you guys can figure out if you have anything else that you think will help.
Identifying, understanding machines, repairing, crafting machines.
Definitely, yeah, that's definitely an asset as well.
Okay.
So it brings it down to a 4. Is this a group thing, or is this?
It's going to be a group task.
So would we all be able to apply effort, or would only one person be able to apply effort?
One person will apply the effort.
So we're all like contributing to making.
Like if you have things to contribute, you can.
So let me ask
like-
you this: then. How long was it, like time wise, like since we decided to like commandeer the ship and this time right now?
So everything's been moving rather fast, but still took time. So I'd say about 2 hours has gone by.
All right, so I'm going to throw this out there, and this is up to you, sir, as whether you feel it's warranted. We are looking to save these people's lives. So, as elements of this, problem or elements of the solution is put to bear, I wish to assess the danger against the lives of these people we're trying to save. See if that helps.
All right. Who's making the roll?
So does that
Can
does it
I
help?
give Blue the espresso anyway and just make his mind go on hyperdrive for this to help it out a little bit?
Oh my god.
I don't know what else I can do.
A monkey on espresso. This game has everything.
Yes,
this would be the-
yes, you can. Blue, do you drink the espresso?
If Goggles thinks it's a good idea, then obviously, because Goggles is a great guy.
I'm going to use this as an opportunity for a GM intrusion.
Oh,
Yes, of
Um,
course.
Oh no!
He's
so,
tweaking.
It was a bad idea, wasn't it?
oh.
so I don't know if anyone has seen the movie Hoodwinked, and I believe it was Hoodwinked with the squirrel that gets coffee or caffeine. Yeah, that's you right now, Blue.
I apparently need to watch this movie.
Yeah, so
You
take XP and hand one out.
I do not get it this time. Who wants it?
Well, I mean, we all want it.
All
I'll
right.
take it. I mean,
All right. Doug called it first. I'll give it to Greg.
All right. You are unable to assist with your danger sense at this point because right now you are vibrating and everything appears to be a danger. And you're just like rambling off solutions and problems faster than anyone can track, and it's kind of distracting. So Red, you're at a 4. You need to get a 12 or better
Okay.
before any effort.
Okay. I am definitely applying effort.
And I believe you can apply as many levels of effort as you have tiers.
Okay. What tier are we now?
2.
2.
2. Okay. So can I still go with 2 even though I applied effort earlier?
Yes. Yeah, that's per
Okay.
task.
Okay. Well, there we go. 2. 16?
Yes, that is a success.
I
You
really
guys
need to
cobble
memorize this
together
chart.
this mad scientist project, and as you complete it, and you kind of get like everyone into the ship and put them into their crystal heart form. Like there's just piles of clothes all over the place, and kind of the thought that goes through your mind as you activate it is, oh my god, I hope I can keep this thing running long enough so they don't reform. While
So
you have
this was
everyone
able to
packed
get
in
the
there.
this was able to
Oh.
get the other people that weren't able to fit originally on board. Is that
Yes,
correct? Wow.
Hey,
because you have a pile of
So-
crystals. You could actually probably. I'm going to say you could actually get more people if you want to go out and do that.
While they're doing that,
Uh,
I'm going to try to figure out the ship's controls, or just pretend like I'm trying to figure it out anyways.
I am
Oh, that's doing it.
just gonna put 100% of my focus toward keeping this machine running, so everything else is on you guys.
Okay.
Oh, I can totally go get more people. I can get more people. You need me to get more people? I can get more people.
Someone handle that.
Actually, and since you're not familiar with the squirrel I'm talking about, Ted, just think of Blur from the Transformers.
I can't talk that fast, but I tried my best.
John Machida cameo.
So I'm going to say you're actually able to double the capacity easily. You get everyone on. Greg has been in there figuring out the controls, and it doesn't look too different than what you've done in the past.
Oh, okay. Then I will do my best to get it started and take off when they're ready.
All right. So
I
with
never actually got to pilot the ship. This is pretty exciting.
with that, you guys begin
Oh.
blasting off.
That's comforting.
And so two things happen at once. One is you're blasting off. Two is the ground seems to be falling away as the world is kind of like crumpling, and lavas and fire is blasting out of the ground, giving you kind of a little bit of a boost
This is
And-
fine.
I'm glad
as you
that
get
people couldn't see that.
hurtling through space.
I'm glad that the people on board didn't have to see that. Or can they see? Is there just like a big pile of pink crystals like in the
I think so.
We got a room. We got a room that's a pile of clothes, a pile of crystals.
like everybody that came on board you're just like
So the instruments begin picking up, a signal out in space.
Well, then I will I'll tell them. Is anybody up like in the bridge? Are we all up there? I'm imagining. Like,
That
are we
is
all
completely up to you guys. And by reading the instruments, like the ship seems programmed to kind of like move towards that. And
Oh, so it's already adjusting to go through.
there's a bit of autopilot going on.
Then I'll point at the star map, which I'm imagining is some cool holographic thing.
You're
and
totally
pull it up
getting a
and say
tirade.
that- What's that?
You're totally getting a tirade of questions. What's that blip? Is that the other ship? Is that something dangerous?
Yeah, I'll point at the other blip and say that I believe is Earth.
And it is. And as you hurtle through space, the ship begins like moving.
Is space pink too?
No, the space is not pink anymore. It is black.
Okay.
But the ship itself is pink.
Oh,
Everything
really?
on it is
Okay, cool.
Actually, space probably does look pink because of the glasses tinted.
Oh, nice.
Shouldn't we really be looking for somewhere else to go since the Earth is going to kill this thing?
That's a good point. Did you ever imagine that you'd be putting your geographical skills to use on a scale this big, Blue?
I don't think geography and astronomy are the same thing.
It's more than any of us know.
On the
Maps and
panel,
such.
lights and sounds begin sequencing, and then basically what looks like a wormhole opens up in front of you,
Holy crap, we're all going to die!
Oh my
And,
God, we might.
and the ship kind of like hurtles through it, and then pops out the other end, and you do see the big round orb in front, or the big round blue orb in front of you, and off to your left is the smaller silver orb that it almost looks almost like they're almost joined together, like the one is a lesion on the other. They're so close.
Okay.
Come on, pull up.
And the
this it?
instruments,
Wait. So it looks like it does now, like in our time now?
yes.
Oh my God. That's just hitting me now. Then I will, it is that blue saying that'll snap me out of it. We're like, oh my God, this is happening right now. And I'll like try to, steer the ship.
And the instrument is showing two different like energy sources. And one is kind of like reading as a negative and the other is a positive. So like the one is kind of like drawing you towards it. And the other is kind of you feel like an aversion to it almost. And blue, like now, like your geography skills do come into play, and you're sure that's Amzia that it is leading you towards. But you also think that's where the warlords have gathered that other thing that seems to be kind of like pushing away.
What the fuck? So we're piloting some sort of mental construct from the past to the future and heading right for our bodies in the
From
present.
the past to the present, not the future.
Their future.
Yeah, true.
And now we're gonna like on a collision course with our own present bodies.
So like I guess
this is fascinating.
The first thing that we really would have to look at is like what kind of magnetic field or what kind of issues does the Earth cause that's gonna cause these people to go crazy. We don't want to just revert them all into crystal form and not be able to have them reform, even if we have to go somewhere else and find a way back here. Like that's the whole that's what was the whole point of us going to save them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if there's a way to figure that part out. I don't think that falls under anything that I've got.
Well, the ship begins like descending in a re-entry kind of thing, and you're not even touching anything now, Greg. It seems to have like autopilot locked on to that beacon and is heading in that direction.
So it's clearly it's not like malfunctioning, like it is going where it's intended to go.
Yes,
like where they had programmed it to go.
And then as soon as like the nose hits that point of entry, as it does, like it's almost like sparks, and think like everything looks like virtual spacey to you right now, and begins flying away, like all the physical material stuff into like these hologram energies and shooting past you until it hits you yourself. And the same thing kind of happens to you. As it all kind of flies back into a line of virtual space looking material, it begins swirling and then lances like a beam of like a laser towards Amazia, slamming Goggles' form in the chest. And then it explodes out from Goggles in a myriad of these waves of energies, these lines of energy to all the individual crystals all over Amazia. And Goggles and Grig, you come to. You don't know how much time has passed. But you remember everything that happened, and it's just the two of you. And the as you come to, like that figure eight of energy kind of like disperses and kind of like arches out all over it, and hundreds of these like beams, each one going to an individual crystal within the town. And Goggles, you feel an emptiness within inside. What was that?
Have green crystals? Did they have green crystals around town, or were they also pink? I think they were.
No, they weren't pink crystals. They were different. I don't remember what color they were actually.
Oh, they were different. Okay. Holy shit! Did I say to Goggles when
you said that Goggles feels empty inside now?
Yes.
Empty in a good way, like I just unloaded a burden, or empty as in like even I'm gone out of me?
No, you're there. Empty as in you don't have a bunch of aliens, a city of aliens living in you anymore.
Oh,
Goggles say,
I think is weird.
I think you did it, Goggles.
And the next thing you notice is all the gemstones, all the crystals that are kind of embedded in the walls. They're glowing just a little bit brighter than they were before, and they seem to have a bit of a pink hue to them.
Oh, I guess that's what they wanted. They just
guess
want
it
to be
is.
trapped here. And maybe the people here can communicate with them and maybe help them find more of what they want.
I believe
Find
that
more
they
of
would be able
themselves.
to do that. Absolutely.
And then you hear doors opening all over the place as the citizens of Emzia begin kind of like coming outside and looking around.
So it was kind of an emergency. Please don't hate us.
You guys are back at the room,
Oh.
red and blue.
Do you
Oh.
think Red and
Oh,
Blue is
no.
what happened?
Did they experience that?
You don't know yet,
But
but no, they didn't.
no, okay.
Oh,
They were
did.
merely manifestations of Goggles and Grig.
Oh,
that's
interesting.
hilarious. And
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
All right, so now the real question is, do we still have the espresso?
That is a good question.
I will, a la everything that has a dream sequence ever, check and see if the espresso is still there.
The espresso is not there.
Oh,
Is there any of those?
And the
crystals?
energy pack is depleted.
Oh, okay, cool. So those crystals are sort of like part of their architecture and stuff, right? They're just like ubiquitous around town.
Yes.
I'm gonna put my hand on the nearest one and use my mind reading ability that I purchased from last time and just see if I can hear any thoughts, but also just say to thank them for showing us and letting us help them.
You
And that
do get
does
thoughts
cost money.
back.
That's how expensive it is.
You do get thoughts back, and I don't know. Did you you didn't experience any like you didn't really experience the Giznar before. You've seen them, but you haven't
No, we've dealt with them several times. I think a long time ago, briefly. Like when we first
In the submarine.
Yeah,
Every-
yeah.
Okay, so you're not-
everyone
so-
but Blue.
yeah.
So you're not getting any of those negative feelings you were before. You're sensing, kind of like a peace,
Mhm.
and a calmness.
I'll tell Goggles. I'll say I believe our theory was correct. Your kind heart did guide them, and I'll put my hand on Goggles and sort of like share the thoughts I just learned with them, so that they're calm now and stuff.
I just hug the crystal.
Oh.
Goodbye. I
I'm
hope
sorry,
you
I'm
have a
laughing. It's very
wonderful
cute.
life.
Just
So the name the leader, one of the elders, or the elder that you've dealt with the most,
yes, we learned his name. Feeling.
wanders up to you, the two of you,
Okay.
and he thinks at the both of you, and there's like a wonder in his mental voice, and awe. What has happened? There's a city within our town. And he kind of like the crystal that you're near, he kind of like takes, puts like his two fingers and his thumb on it.
Ooh,
You can see
like
a city of pink.
That's where these entities were from. They needed help. Their planet, something happened. They came here to survive, and they experienced a lot of turmoil. But we wanted to help them. They're a sort of crystalline-based species with strong mental capacities.
He kind of rubs his hairless chin a little, and looks off and thought, I wonder how this is going to affect how our psychic emanations work going forward.
Well, they have been used to power as a power source for powerful weapons and devices, psychic manifestations. In fact, with their help, you may even be able to see through the protective wards that Marinera has placed on that disable you from scrying on her. They have powerful psychic abilities.
Goggles, when Greg mentions like they've been used for powerful weapons and begins to explain it, like the look of sheer shock and horror on the other's face at the idea that they've been used that way.
Yeah, it was kind of terrible, but it's what enabled us to save them too. So, and I just kind of would like to see if my suit will still power up or if it's just like done now.
No, your suit will still works. I mean, it's always been something separate than them. It's just
Okay.
its design was what allowed you to kind of hold them for a while. He says, he speaks into your minds. I see. Well, perhaps we can help them.
That would be wonderful. We've been
Yeah.
looking to help them for some time.
Even though I'm not there, I'll ask a question. Long ago, I think in the submarine, Blue had picked up one of the crystals that was inert.
Yeah.
Essentially it had died. He's still been carrying it. So if that somehow has become reawakened or whatever have you, I don't know if there's anyone that would pick up on it, but it would still have it.
Okay. And that's a different one than the one you left that got absorbed into the cat.
Correct.
Captain Meatball, man.
Yes. Captain Meatball.
Wow, that's just like a million years ago.
But Blue and Red, like, you guys are kind of startled awake because, especially Blue, with your danger sense kind of kicking in, as you hear doors opening all over the town.
We're all gonna die.
Like, if it was one or two, you probably wouldn't have noticed. But because it seems like everyone has gotten up and wandered outside.
But like, it's not opening into our room, right?
No.
All right. So Blue puts down the knife and then looks out the window to see what's going on.
Okay, so you look out, and what you see is like, everyone. Well, what you see is folks all over the town are coming out and looking outside their doors, and they look kind of perplexed. All of the, all of the ones with the mental abilities. You don't see any of the nameless.
Like, crawl out of bed, look out the window at what's going on. I look at Blue, I'm like, these people are weird. And then I crawl back into bed because Fred really has no reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, as far as you know, this could be just a normal thing that they do at a certain time at night. Who knows what, different cultures and traditions.
Is it morning, or are we talking like, middle of the night?
Middle of the night. It's probably been a couple hours since you've seen Gregor Goggles.
Everybody's walking around outside looking perplexed. No one's trying to break into our room. I guess Blue would, seeing that Red is safe, seeing that no one is trying to hurt us. I imagine Lilac is still in the room with us.
She is. She didn't actually wake up. She said sound asleep.
If she's safe, Blue will just kind of like lay back down and be like, all right, I'll figure it out in the morning.
I'm glad that we've just kind of made this unspoken decision to adopt her.
Greg, Grig, we have to go tell Red and Blue right now. This is so exciting. This is amazing.
I have to make a bonobo roll.
I will let
Okay.
Guy lead the way and go with him for sure. I'm just as excited.
I am running to wherever we were staying, screaming with excitement.
Okay, so like when you get to our room, the door slams open and Red is giving you this like low blood pressure evil overlord stare. Do you realize what time it is?
Blue had just fallen back asleep as Red slammed open the door. Yet again, Blue springs up, dagger in hand. We're all gonna die!
No, it's so much better. We're not going to die. They're not going to die. It's wonderful. And I just scoop everybody up in a group hug. I'm so happy.
Time moves differently in the pink world. So to be frank with you, Red, I have no idea what time it is.
And then he just puts Red down. He's like, did you get less buff?
Are we supposed to call you Frank now?
Excuse me.
Did they look like did when we were, when you had us describe what they looked like, did Blue look the same to Goggles as he did to me?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. I was just making sure.
We did it. We did it. The Giznor are safe. They're going to live here now. They're in the crystals. They're happy. Everything's okay.
That wasn't you guys in the pink world with us?
What are you talking about?
Did you have any strange dreams about helping alien crystal beings escape their dying planet?
No, I was dreaming that I had a vase and it was made of sugar candy, but it really looked like glass, so I was eating it and everybody was looking at me all weird, but I kept eating it because I liked that they were looking at me weird. It was a total power move.
That sounds really cool.
The Giznor are safe now.
I was dreaming that, the power of calling Marina Marinara kind of really happened, and like her army was like dipping bread into her. Kind of weird.
It is weird.
That is very weird.
Maybe the most disturbing thing yet.
Yeah. Everything is breadsticks.
I will just take probably like the next half hour and just regale them with the story.
I fall asleep at some point during this story, but just 100% fall back asleep. And it's not because you guys are doing a bad job. It's because it's stupid o'clock.
Blue will stay up and listen. He thinks it's ridiculous that you fed him a drink and he was running around crazy. I don't know if you tell him that part, but if you do.
Yes, he also makes mention that you were much more glowy, and like you had these like constellation points on you.
Your nervous system is a work of art.
That's weird. I'm furry, not made of stars.
It's definitely a creepy thing to say, Greg.
Well, we're all sort of made of stars.
I say, rolling back over.
Yours is too, Red.
Thanks.
I think.
It's not for sale.
So,
you helped. We did it. And I just kind of like pat him on the back as we're looking out over this town that just has like the lights everywhere from the
that would
crystals.
look really cool. All glowy. Hey, was their town was all roundy and stuff though, right?
yes, yeah,
We'll have
domes.
to come back and see if they start making more angular buildings.
You will. So, you know, as you guys kind of like digest all this information and process things, you definitely have the epiphany that there is definitely something in the camp of the warlords that is keeping things away, like the lunar daemons and as well as the elders of Amzia from being able to scry them and see what's going on.
So is there a point in the night, maybe, we're up late telling these stories and everything, and Blue was trying to stay up. Is he like at all sort of like half sleepy though, or anything as he's listening? What'd you say, Ted?
Say anything. I was waiting to answer, waiting for Dave to answer that. No, I was going to ask my own question. Are you asking if I would?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I would imagine, he's enthralled by what's going on. The tales of this adventure that supposedly he was involved in, but he has no recollection. It sounds amusing, all these opportunities that, could have led to Pearl, and yet, we all survived yet again.
That's how he's feeling, like real, like hopeful and optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, it's
so I'm gonna sort of like low key towards the, when this nightly conversation's trailing off, just be like, yeah, so all we got to do is sneak into Marinair's camp, steal the thing that's protecting her, and go back to New Manhattan. We'll be all, be good right as rain. Just so he's sort of like, hoping maybe he'll be like, yeah, like nod along. You don't have to. I'm just, that was my thought.
So
that was,
Blue,
you said you'd do it.
Blue, you're kind of able to, you like kind of do the mental calculations without thinking of, the armies of Marina will probably be hitting the walls of New Manhattan, basically around the next moonrise.
Oh, geez. That's like tomorrow.
No, it just happened. So.
It's every like 2 weeks. That's right.
So we gotta jet. We gotta go home.
Okay.
So we need to, if we can figure out what this is, get it, and get back to New Manhattan, and get behind the walls, then that pretty much leaves, Marina's army at the mercy of the demons.
Or a safer way might be if we go back to New Manhattan right now, tell Unik, what we learned, and that she has that thing, and then maybe when that'll be, maybe he'll know what to do, or he'll have a better idea what to do.
What kind of journey time is it from here to New Manhattan?
You guys could probably do it in just under the 2 week mark.
Oh man.
Oh. Here's a question, world building question. Is Marina the first sorcerer that all of us have encountered, or is this world such that like there is magic? It's just like you have to be a practitioner.
The world has magic. You have to be a practitioner. It's still pretty rare. And like none of you have encountered a power, at her level.
So like the fact that she is a sorceress is part of the source of her power. It's like, oh, she's a sorceress. Like we're not gonna know what that is. So sort of thing. Like that's really powerful. Is that kind of the vibe?
Yes and no. Like you don't actually know for sure, or if that's just what she calls herself. Is that what just people call her? But
turned a bunch of people to stone and then attacked us with them. I'm pretty sure she has some buku magic.
Yeah, so there's definitely something going on there, but maybe that's her only power. So, but no, yeah, but for being someone who wields magic in this world, it could be something that you could kind of learn, but to a certain extent, you also have to have it in you. And some people just really have it in them, and they need to learn it less.
So with all of this that's going on, at some point in time, whether it be, during the conversation or, the morning following, there's a lot of information to digest, but Blue would pull out that pink crystal and, see if there's anything that's, going on with that, or if it is still just a pink rock at this point.
It is slightly warm, and there is the dimmest of light to it.
Ooh.
So he would hand that out to Goggles. This one I don't think was alive before, but it feels different now. Oh.
Huh. I'll take it and just kind of like try to Is there a nearby crystal in our house that we're staying in, or in the place that we're staying in?
All the buildings have them.
Can I put it against the nearest crystal
Hmm.
and see if anything happens?
You're gonna make a little baby crystal.
It flares a bit brighter, and pink pieces, pink bolts of static shock or static electricity kind of like shoot out from it,
Hmm.
and then like retract.
Everyone else is here. Do you want to stay with them, or do you want to stay with Blue, the one who carried you and saved you, really? I'm asking it as cyclically as I can.
Yeah, so as you kind of do that and you're kind of mentally are trying to like touch it, it begins to like quiver and shake in your hand a little bit. And it does something none of the other crystals have done thus far. It begins to exude more and more of that pink energy from it till it forms a kind of a shell around the crystal itself. It's kind of transparent. It's not as solid as the ones that you saw while you were on the Giznor homeworld. You can see the chunk of crystal inside of it, but it takes on the shape and form of like a koi fish. And it's kind of
interesting.
like now like wiggling in your hand.
Oh, is this what you look like?
And it bobs its fish head up and down and even has the little like whiskers. But it's like pinks and reds, and it's definitely like how the kois are colored. It's kind of like that, only in those hues.
Well, here, this, and I kind of hold it out to Blue. This is the person that saved you.
And it swims to Blue through the air, and begins kind of like bobbling around you.
Aren't these like your people? Aren't you the one to save them?
But you saved this one. And it doesn't seem to want to go with the others. So, looks like you made a new friend.
Okay.
It also seems a little different, right, than the other ones you've encountered.
Yeah, it's an animal form.
So is it like swimming through the air?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Pink koi fish crystal creature. Got it.
It's the size of kind of a long koi fish or a large koi
It's
fish.
like this.
Yeah.
It's like as big as your torso.
It's like half as big as I am.
You could ride it.
Well, it's not quite that big, but yeah.
Does it have a name, Blue?
So I think most of the time I've seen the other people interact with the crystals, like they've reached out and touch it. So I will put out a hand and see if I can get the thing to swim to me, and if it actually touches me or if I can touch it, I'll think about, and ask at the same time of like, what's your name?
That's adorable.
So you get more like emotions, not thoughts. It seems content and kind of happy.
Got it. Its name is Happy.
Oh!
And it kind of wriggles with pleasure as you say that.
So it's happy at being named Happy. Got it.
It does seem to like that.
Flying. Fish flying through the air. Weird.
I mean, at this rate, we'll practically have our own army to fight Marinara.
Boy, if you think that was weird, Blue, I wish it would have. I wish it would have been more than just our mental projections of your nervous system with us. It was a real hoot.
I gotta say, it's definitely weird with you only seeing my nervous system.
I can see your whole body. It just sort of it glows to me.
But I'm cute and fluffy.
Oh, your nerve endings are very adorable as well.
This is truly cursed.
Cursed. So, Greg probably doesn't need much rest, but I feel like
I still rest.
Goggles and Blue more so.
Oh yeah.
I was doing my
Yeah, I'm gonna
and such.
crash.
Well, since I actually slept last night, I'll go find us a boat.
Isn't
we are
Old
going
Salty
back.
Dog still waiting for us?
No, we gave Blue's people the flare gun and summoned him, and he went back.
Oh,
took
that's
them
right. That's right.
Told you we weren't going to go back on that boat.
No, we'll go back on another boat. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, we are.
How far inland are we? Are we still nearish the shore?
Yeah, you're not that. You're not that far. Inland. Just because where the ultimate destination is.
We're in like the horrid wastelands of New Jersey now, right?
You are headed up the turnpike,
Yeah, not the present day.
or what used to be the turnpike.
We would really need to discuss, are we looking at trying to sneak into camp and get the information, or are we honestly looking to just beat feet and rush back and hope that in the midst of I guess the Bayman attack, or just before that, we could steal this thing right out from under her, or are we just looking to say, F it, we're doing what we're doing?
I think we know a lot, and if it's going to take us just enough time to get back there before the next moonrise,
We need to
I don't
prepare
think-
them.
yeah.
We did do what we were instructed. We were instructed to do recon to figure out if she was a threat, how much of a threat. We figured out that she has the power to turn people to stone and then puppet said people. She is protected from scrying magic, so we'll need a physical team to go in and get further information. A team that, frankly speaking, we're probably not equipped to do. This is not Goggles talking, by the way. He doesn't talk this smart. This is me.
Oh, I thought it was.
This is a
all right, no bullshit.
this is a group conversation.
Cut the shit.
Yeah,
Serious.
like as a player, I feel like if we go back to NYC, we are at least going to be able to inform him, yes, there's magic, it's a problem, because maybe there's some citizen we don't know about that Unik knows that is a magic user or has a way to combat magic somehow.
Yeah. And if he's
It's pretty
from
diverse.
here and these people's powers are blocked by her, he might have some insight into that part of it more than we would, because he, if he has similar abilities, he would know what to do with that info, I feel like.
Okay. So I imagine this is all like a group conversation. Everybody's bringing up points, and we're kind of going back and forth discussing. Maybe this is the breakfast conversation. So then it would be, are we looking to try and get to the coast and go up via water, or are we looking to, just go on foot? And if there happens to be any villages in the direct path, it's pack up and follow us.
Maybe they have a vehicle here in Amzia. We also have to. We're bringing Lilac with us too, which is another great reason not to go directly to Marina's camp.
Sure.
But maybe they have some vehicle here somewhere, just disused. It could be like in a tarp in a garage somewhere. I don't know. I'm just. We could look.
Red,
into
what do
that.
you think? Water or
Say
land?
red?
Yeah,
I mean,
red.
I was already gonna go look for a boat that's gonna be faster.
I like a boat.
All right. Sounds like we got the plan.
All right.
So
So we'll head for the coast and just start going north, basically, with our intention to look for watercraft along the way. Is that sort of the plan for now? That sound about right?
Sure.
Mhm.
Sounds like a plan.
how do you go about leaving the settlement? Like, I mean, you guys just slip out, or you say goodbye? You
You guys want to just slip out?
I would like to say goodbye to the leader.
could
And I
just
feel like
think-
Red has some parting words for either the leader or that lady that talked to us.
Jillia?
Yeah, Jillia. I don't know, though. I'm not going to speak for Red, but I would like to talk to the leader.
so do you guys? So okay, so you guys, go out, seek out the leader, and they invite you to some a final cup of tea before you head out,
Oh,
and a meal.
Sure. Thank you. We could use a hot meal, but thank you for taking in the Giznor. I know that they'll appreciate it, and for what it's worth, I don't know. Is Red there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, rather than say it for her, I'll just let Red say it herself. And I just kind of like step back.
Wait, what? What am I saying?
Whatever you had to say to him, because rather than assume what you would have thoughts about or say why you came, he just wants you to say what it is. Like he said his piece, which is thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for taking in the Giznor. Good luck, basically.
Oh, I just came because I thought it would be rude not to. I'm sorry.
Oh.
So the elder asks, so what is next? I know danger lies before you, and you've been following Marina, but the one you call Marinara.
The
Yeah.
Whisper campaign.
We're going to go back to New Manhattan and try to bastion it. You guys seem pretty safe. And clearly, your society, while every society has problems, but you take care of your own, and that's important.
And so peeking up from behind Blue, like up to the table, is the koi fish Happy? Or the psychic koi fish Happy. And the elder gets this like genuine look of delight on their face as they look onward, and they have no ability to kind of like mask their expression. That is, I see our psychic energy swirling around and within, and also the ones that call themselves the Giznor, married together.
Yeah, that's
Elder, there's a lot of these unfortunate folks that we weren't able to save. We came across some north of here in the ocean, and who knows where else on Earth. If your people are able to work with the Giznor who have joined you in Amzia, perhaps you could find more of their kind out there that need help.
It's possible. I don't fully understand how this works yet. I mean, the mindscape that they've been able to create and marry to our network of psychic crystals is incredible. And this appears
you've only
to be
just bonded with an aliens. Oh, sorry.
This appears to be a marrying of those two forces into this creature that you call Happy.
Happy, yeah. I don't know how it happened. We found the crystals under the water. This one didn't make it. I was carrying it because I felt sad. I didn't know really what to do with it. It was done, but it was pretty, so I kept it. And then supposedly my my nervous system, my neurons or what have you, apparently traveled across space and time while Griggs and Goggles traveled across the galaxy and saved the Giznor people and crashed their ship into your town. And when I awoke and started getting the story, I went and found my crystal, and I gave the crystal to Goggles, and then it swam back to me through the air. Like this.
Fascinating.
Impeccable retone.
So, do you have a ship chartered that you plan on using?
No, we're just gonna roll with it. That's kind of what we do. Do you know about any ships?
There is a small town that you could go to. Zalek is one of the fishermen there. If you go and go to him and give him this, he pulls out a crystal that kind of has like it looks to be like a rune, an etched rune floating in the center of it.
Hello, little crystal, what's your name?
It's just a crystal, but if you give him this, he will know that I sent you. He will take you where you want to go.
That's incredibly generous of you, Elder.
So I take the crystal. It's okay. You're allowed to have a name. And I hold it out to probably to Red. Red being the typical speaker.
Okay.
So you guys are able to kind of wrap up your things. They actually send you off with some food, some vegetarian tack that'll last a little while, even some things that are like beef jerky but not beef jerky.
Veggie jerky.
Veggie jerky.
Hey.
I'm fine with vegetables, but all this fake meat stuff.
Yeah,
Seitan there. And...
a bunch of tryhards. Like they really want to eat
human.
meat. So they send you off with some goods and tell you you're welcome back anytime. And there's one thing
very much.
That one, and points at Happy, might be able to lead you to the thing in the Warlord's camp.
Oh.
It has...
My Elder.
It has some of our telepathic abilities and some of the properties of the Giznor as well. They can they can see it. They came here by accident because of the energy that this place gives off.
It won't hurt Happy, will it?
Well, I mean, it is dangerous.
But I mean, like, it looking for the power, it's not going to cause it harm.
No, it's just it'll be able to sense it, like a dog or canine tracking by scent.
Okay. I just didn't want to, think it was like an object that, when it uses its power, it goes away. That would be sad.
That is a creature. That is not an object.
Well,
and he kind of gives you a stern look.
I just wanted to make sure.
Well, good. We're on the same page. It seems to like you.
Well, I like Happy.
So with that, you guys are able to pack up and head to the town that he described. It's so podunk it doesn't even have a name.
Oh.
It's just a small settlement.
Oh, what if we, what if we, buck the system and we call it Podunk, and now it's got a name.
You could. It's like it's literally like 5 families living close together.
Just gonna grab a piece of wood, like carve podunk into it, and like staple it to one of the buildings.
So you're able to link up with Zillick easily and hand over the crystal.
I totally say goodbye.
What's that?
I totally say goodbye to the crystal.
Okay. And when he sees that, he's like, if you're greatly attached to it, you can have it back. I mean, it's okay. And I will say the vessel that he takes you to is not nearly the vessel that you sailed on before. It is much more rickety, and it is completely powered by wind. It's a sail ship, a small one. It'll fit the lot of you, but Zillick tells you, do not worry. It will get you to where you need to go. We will get to New Manhattan, and we will get past. We will get there before the forces of the warlord can get there. I will see this done. I owe the elders of Amzea my life, and they told me when I saw this crystal that that's when they would be asking me to repay that debt. And
all right, someone pass me an oar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have some oars for you.
Blue will totally take the crystal back, and periodically he will totally talk to it. Usually in the presence of Happy, and he'll be like showing the crystal Happy and be like, "Look, if you believe and if I believe and whatnot, you can grow up big and strong." And
Oh my god.
Eat your veg impassable jerky.
But yeah, like I don't remember being swole, but I remember you telling me about it, and I like the sound of that, so I am going to row with the crew.
Nice. Yeah, well, there's not really a crew. It's him and
We're
you
the
guys.
Awesome.
Look at her
Let's
go.
hey, I got a might of 14. I might be small, but I can work.
And in red letters,
14.
Yeah.
in red letters, like scrawled upon the side of the ship, basically it looks like someone just used a paintbrush. It says Vesper on it.
Oh, I like that. That's a good ship name.
Yeah, I like it too. I don't actually know what it means. I saw it somewhere else and just knew that I needed to use it.
Sometimes it's like that.
So you will sail up the coast, and when we start next week, we will start with you disembarking in New Manhattan.
Woot, woot.
Hey, coming up on the end.
What a trip, man.
Yeah, for the final session.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I want to thank everyone for watching and for you guys playing. Of course, staff writers Megan R. Miller on Amazon, as well as Stephen Partridge on Amazon as well, where you can see their published works, of course, as well as over on Nerdarchy.com. This guy, Nerdarchy Ted, I assume, and of course our content director, Nerdarchy Doug, in the house as well. Thank you guys for playing. It's been a blast. I can't wait till next week to see what happens, how things end.
Mm-hmm.
So until next
And
time.
happy holidays.
Yes, that's true too. It'll be just after the holidays. Happy holidays as well. Thanks for reminding me. Until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay
Nerdy.